The Knicks are just 2 wins away from their first conference finals appearance in 24 years, and while it's easy to get lost in the offensive barrage of Jalen Brunson, the explosive outside shooting of Dante DiVincenzo, or maybe the two-way play of OG and Hartenstein, through all of their injuries, the biggest constant has been Tom Thibodeau's favorite soldier, Josh Hart. Through 8 playoff games, he's averaging 46.8 minutes, which would be the most of any player in a playoff run since 2006. Of those 8, he's played from start to finish in 4 of them, including a 53-minute overtime thriller. You'd think that with this much cardio required of him, he'd take plays off, but his big draw is actually his constant energy and non-stop motor. He's always looking for ways to get involved, whether that's by making an aggressive help play or by pursuing every last 50-50 ball, and these are the sorts of things that can swing the outcome of a playoff game. Like in Game 2 of the Pacers series, the Knicks were in the midst of a big third quarter run, and it looked like Indiana was about to break the spell after an inbound, only for Hart to turn and meet the ball at the rim. As for the defensive side of things, he's been a man of many roles for this team. He's not super quick laterally, so shiftier guards typically don't have too much trouble beating him off the dribble, but he does have some utility at the point of attack against secondary options, and his length is a really good tool for defending in space, as is his strength. This time he's matched up with Siakam, who throws a big bump to his chest, which he absorbs with ease before getting a hand up on the jumper. As a 6'4" guy, he has the sturdiness of a big forward, and that allows him to play much bigger than his position. Here's one from the first round where he switched onto Embiid, and he takes advantage of his smaller stature by getting right up in Joel's airspace to make him uncomfortable while using his length to attack the ball, completely shutting him down one-on-one. Another thing that helps him play big is that he's a quick vertical leaper, so when needed, he can even offer resistance at the rim in the traditional sense. New York will often use him as a low man, and for someone with the size of a guard, his ability to protect the paint is truly impressive. Some of it is those physical gifts, but a lot of it comes back to energy and activity. As Joel plays out of the post, he's just making his presence known as a helper. Then when Joel turns away, he recovers to his man to box out and close the possession on the glass. He takes pride in rebounding the ball, and that's been on full display throughout this run. Again, he's the low man, and you can see him work to establish inside position, then when the time is right, he'll pounce at the ball. At 9.3 defensive rebounds per game, he's 5th in the entire playoffs, and even more impressive is that he's the only player below the height of 6'7", averaging more than 6. When you have a wing capable of crashing in the way that he is, ending defensive possessions becomes a lot easier. And not only is he grabbing these boards, once he does, he's looking to push the ball with every opportunity, which has brought an entirely different dimension to this Knicks offense. As a team, they pretty exclusively operate in the half court and take their sweet time to create shots, but Hart's been a sort of one-man fast break through these playoff games. He's really good at using his length to create lanes to the rim, this time stepping right around Batum for 2 points plus a foul, and my favorite aspect of his transition game is the level of fearlessness. Even with Embiid in perfect position, he takes it right at him with a full head of steam and finds a way to put it up and in. These open floor attacks have been huge in jumping out to a 2-0 lead against the Pacers, because instead of trying to slow the game down and take them out of their comfort zone, their counter to the run and gun style was to unleash Josh Hart like an Olympic track star. Again, I feel like it's a good time to mention that he's doing this consistently while playing 47 minutes a game. And because he's so willing to attack the paint relentlessly, he's been able to collapse the defense quite a bit, to which he's more than capable of finding the open man as a passer. Of everything he brings to the table as a sort of do-it-all guy, I feel this is his most underrated quality. He's got seriously good vision and is willing to get creative with his deliveries. This level of open floor playmaking for pretty much the entirety of games has been the catalyst for New York having the best transition offense of any team in the playoffs. At 22.6 points a game, they're second, just a touch behind the Lakers, but they're first in efficiency, scoring 1.24 points per possession. Hart's pushing of the pace isn't exclusive to the open floor though. Even against a set defense, he's constantly looking for chances to attack in early offense, and that could be on plays where he starts away from the ball as well. This time nobody picks him up right away, so he stampedes down the lane, where he draws help before kicking it out to DiVincenzo for a quality 3. When the game really slows down, they still have some ways to utilize his downhill game. Like here, it's an inbound and a fake handoff to turn the corner on a baseline drive, once again getting into the defense and finding an open teammate. Seriously, I can go on and on about how valuable his passing is within the flow of their offense. This pinpoint bounce pass with the offhand is not at all an easy find to make. With all of that said though, New York's half-court strategy is for the most part very simple. Let Jalen Brunson cook. So naturally, Hart's job a lot of the time is to simply spot up and look pretty. Here's the thing though, historically, he hasn't been the greatest shooter. Only twice in his career has he shot above 37% from 3, and this was by far the worst shooting season of his career at just a measly 31%. As a result, come playoff time, that means he's the guy that opposing defenses will often scheme to leave open, and when he's not hitting, that can cause a few problems. However, over the last 3 seasons, he's made more than 40% of his wide open threes, showing that he can knock them down even if they have been few and far between, but even more importantly is his shot location. Typically, lower level shooters will be relegated to the corner because it's the shortest 3 ball, and it allows the team to put a better shooter one pass away from the primary ball handler. What the Knicks have done is lifted Hart either to the wing or top of the key and essentially gave him a green light to take shots as if he's actually a sharpshooter, and that's led to some big makes like this one in Game 6 of the first round to take the lead in the closing seconds. Hart's confidence is sky high right now, and I'm not saying I expect him to continue shooting 44% from 3 like he's shooting at the moment, but I also don't think he needs to be. See, lifting him to the wing isn't a move for his 3-point shooting to be maximized. It's another way to weaponize his downhill game. Let me explain. Brunson likes to isolate from the middle of the floor, which means teams like to send an extra defender to protect the nail. By having a slasher like Hart deep on the wing, he can just catch and go, and you pretty much have an automatic paint touch. To make things even tougher, sometimes he'll stampede into these drives, meaning that while the help loads up, he'll actually start moving downhill before he even touches the ball. This time he gets cut off and stops short for a floater. Of course, this opens up more opportunities to utilize his passing, here drawing a closeout and immediately driving off the catch, then after getting to the rim, he dumps it off to Hartenstein for that signature push shot. So teams really don't want to help off of him too much when he's spotted up. There's the fear of him catching and driving, or even worse, the threat of him sneaking into the lane for an offensive rebound, as he plays a vital role in New York's ability to create second chance opportunities. I mentioned how he's 5th in defensive rebounds, well he's 6th in offensive rebounds per game at 3.5, helping the Knicks as a team to lead the playoffs by a landslide. It's still so crazy to me that he's got the height of a guard, is playing nearly 48 minutes, and has the energy and tenacity to get after it on the glass like a 7-footer. Seriously, let's not overlook how rare this is. And really, let's not overlook just how much he does for this team. They're 6-2 in the playoffs, with his role quite literally being to do whatever they need at any given moment. He's controlling pace, he's controlling the glass on both ends, he's switching across the board and protecting the rim. When the 3 ball is falling in the way it has, he's one of the league's most valuable supporting players and the ultimate wing under Tom Thibodeau. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn my post notifications on to be first on more content. If you're interested in my more in-depth research, make sure to check out my website and social media profiles. You can find those links in the description. Feel free to let me know down in the comments what you think of Hart. As always, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.